Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi. Dhammam Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi. Sangham Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi.
On Friday, August the 11th, 2000, S.N. Goenka arrived at Dhammadipa, the UK Vipassana Centre, to give a one-day course for old students.
Dhammadipa Paradharma ki Jyot Prakashit Jubita Pesa Bhumi Pare Mukta Dukhan Sadhaka Mangalaya.
This was Goenkaji's first visit to the UK for 9 years, and his 4-day stay gave many students a rare opportunity to meet and meditate with their renowned teacher, who brought Vipassana meditation to the West.
One gets enormous merits even by sitting alone, taking a self-course for one day. But when you are practicing with so many Dhamma brothers and sisters, the merit increases manifold. And it still increases many fold when you practice this on a Dhamma land, a pure land, full of Dhamma vibration. You have done your job very well. Now you have to see that you make use of it in your daily life. Whatever you have practiced today is just to recharge your battery, so that every day you practice morning and evening and see how you apply it in your life.
Sabika Mangale, Sabika Mangale, Sabika Mangale Hoere, Sadak Tera Mangale Hove, Sadak Tera Mangale Hove.
Goenkaji met with many groups of students and assistant teachers, not just from the UK, but from across Europe, and as far afield as North America, Cambodia, and Myanmar.
I keep on saying that I have only 2 hands, but Dhamma is 1,000 hands. You all are Dhamma hands, and this is how it is spreading. Sometimes people, because they don't understand what is being taught, so they may think some foreign cult is imposed on us or some dogma is imposed. They should understand this is a way of life, that's good way of life, that's all. Anybody can practice it, and one may be a Christian or a Jewish or a Hindu or a Muslim or a Buddhist, makes no difference. Human being is human being. It's just art of living, how to live peacefully. If people understand that, no negativity, it goes away. amongst the local people, see that some of them start coming. Even if one person comes from the locality, it will spread. The words will start spreading. Oh, it's good, it is good, it is good. With whatever study we have made, this Vipassana got lost in India simply because of one reason. People started adding something else with this. Little bit of this, some say little bit of this. Then whatever is added, that becomes predominant. And the Vipassana goes. This is what happened. So for future we must be very careful. See that more courses. Now there is peace in the country.
Mostly.
Some trouble going on.
There's a peace agreement and the men of violence have stopped most of it, but there's still some. But in fact, where the next course is happening is in Northern Ireland, very near the border between the north and the south. But things are going in the right direction, and we think that it's unlikely that it will. But there's still a lot of ignorance and a lot of anger and fear between the two communities, and that's very old historical situation that.
It's like India and Pakistan.
Same sort of thing. It's like flag and and
This madness is. That is why Dhamma is needed.
yeah.
Wherever such things are going on, more and more Dhamma comes up, it will calm down. People will understand violence is no answer to problem, to solve the problem. Thank Dhamma, thank Buddha, thank the Sangha, not me. I am just a medium. You see, the Sangha of our country, we have to be so grateful to them. It is because of the Sangha that the tradition, the teaching of Buddha was maintained in this country for centuries together. Everywhere it is lost. If Burma is also lost, the whole world will get lost. So one must be so grateful. All my people, I say, you must be so grateful to this country and to the Sangha of that country because they maintained this technique, even though few people only. But still, from generation to generation, they maintained it. So we got it. Otherwise, the whole world would have been in darkness. There was no possibility. Mere reading books will not help. The technique is important.
Just one more question, please. Just one. Yeah. Very last one.
There was also a reception and the offering of food to visiting monks of various traditions.
Thank you.
So if you want, take that
On the Monday, Goenkaji gave a public talk in both Hindi and English at the Kadwa Patida Community Centre in Harrow.
Friends, we have all assembled here this evening to understand what is Vipassana and how it can help us in our day-to-day life, how we can find it relevant to this era. The whole process is the process of know thyself. Know thyself, not merely at the intellectual level. Know thyself at the actual level. It is easy to some extent, to purify the surface of the mind, intellect of the mind. At the intellect level, one can understand, oh no, I should not defile my mind, it is harmful. And you keep on trying not to defile. Good. Much better than those who don't understand by defiling their mind, they are harming themselves. Better. But still, this sleeping volcano inside, at the deepest level of the mind, it will have an eruption anytime. And again you are helpless. So unless this behavior pattern of the mind at the deepest level is broken, you can't really enjoy peace. You can't really enjoy harmony. You can't live a happy life, a moral life. Every religion worth the name, Every religion teaches us live a moral life full of ethics. Have a disciplined, pure mind, full of love, full of compassion, full of goodwill, full of tolerance. This is the teaching of every religion. This is the greatest common denominator of all the religions. But there is another aspect of the religions. This is the inner core, the quintessence of every religion, which is uniform. Then there is the outer shell. Outer shell of every religion is different from the other. Outer shell, where you have different rites, rituals, you have different ceremonies, celebrations, you have different philosophical views, mythological views. They all differ. Nothing wrong. Let people carry on whatever they want to do according to the surface level of their religion. Nothing wrong. So long as they don't disturb, they don't harm, they don't hurt the feeling of the people of other religion. Carry on. Perfectly all right. But don't forget the inner hardcore. If you forget the inner hardcore, and you feel, I'm a very religious person because I have performed this rite, this ritual, I've got this strong belief or that strong belief, and you feel very contented that I am a very religious person, and you don't follow the inner core, you don't live a moral life, you've got no disciplined mind, you've got no purity of the mind, you've got no love, compassion, goodwill for the others, you are not a religious person. You are just deluding yourself, you are deluding others, you are harming yourself, and you are harming others also. So if all the leaders of various religions, if they start giving all importance to this inner core, which is universal, the quarrels between one religion and the other, the conflict between one religion and the other, even the wars and bloodsheds in the name of religion, all because of this outer shell, not because of the inner quintessence. इस कदर इस अशांति के बाहर निकल सकते हो, स्वयं भी सुखी हो सकते हो, स्वयं भी शांति का जीवन जी सकते हो, औरों के लिए भी सुख शांति पैदा कर सकते हो। करते करते आदमी खुद समझने लगता है कि जब जब मैं कोई विकार जगाता हूँ, क्रोध जगाऊं, द्वेष जगाऊं, दुर्भावना जगाऊं, पहला शिकार मैं होता हूँ, बहुत व्याकुल होता हूँ, और फिर इस व्याकुलता को अपने तक सीमित नहीं रखता, बांटने लगता हूँ, औरों को व्याकुल बनाता हूँ। जैसे ही क्रोध जगाऊंगा, सारे वातावरण में तनाव भर जाएगा। उस समय जो मेरे संपर्क में आएगा बेचारा दुखी हो जाएगा। कैसा जीवन, मैं भी दुखियारा और लोगों को भी दुखियारा बनाओ। अरे जीना नहीं आया ना, जीने की कला नहीं आई ना। धर्म तो इसलिए होता है कि हम स्वयं कैसे सुख शांति का जीवन जिए और कैसे औरों के लिए सुख शांति का वातावरण तैयार करें। इस धर्म की परंपरा में, भारत में शुद्ध धर्म की परंपरा में, जो धर्म का आचार्य होता है वो कभी किसी से कोई दान नहीं मांगेगा। दान मांगा कि धर्म डूबा, कभी नहीं मांगेगा। हम भी इस बंधन से बंधे हुए हैं, हम नहीं मांग सकते, फिर भी मांगते हैं। हम दान मांगते हैं। क्या दान मांगते हैं? हम तुम सबसे अपने जीवन के 10 दिन हमें दीजिए, ये दान मांगते हैं। दीजिए, अपने जीवन के 10 दिन दान दीजिए हमें, अपने भले के लिए, अपने कल्याण के लिए, अपने मंगल के लिए। बहुत मंगल होगा, बहुत कल्याण होगा, जीवन बदल जाएगा।
The next day, Goenkaji gave another public talk at the Friends Meeting House in central London.
And blind reaction always carries negativity. So in the life outside, every time one reacts blindly, and this is what one does. All the time something has happened, and you react so quickly, so blindly. Every time when you react blindly, there is the element of negativity in it.
by this technique, anything has happened outside, one will observe what is inside now. For a few seconds, not that something has happened outside and you go into a room and sit and meditate, nothing doing. With open eyes, you will start feeling there is some sensation in the body and I am not reacting to this sensation. Now let me see, what is this outside? And you take action. This technique does not make you inactive. You take action. But action is action, always positive. You are coming out of blind reaction. Reaction is always harmful. The whole technique teaches you how to take action, positive action, good for you, good for others. I remember one very senior Mother Superior came to a course, and at the end of the course he says, "You are teaching Christianity in the name of Buddha." I am teaching the law of nature. This is applicable to everybody. I come from a very staunch conservative Hindu family. When I took my first course, it became so clear. Well, this is what is taught in our religion. But our religion only, they were sermons. Now it's a practical way of making the mind not only concentrated, making the mind free from all defilements. What's wrong in this? Similarly, people coming from different religions, they start saying that the same thing is in our religion, in our scriptures. A number of Muslims came, a very big scholar of Muslim. And after the course he says, in the Quran Sharif there are 2 lines which we keep on repeating always, but we never know what's the meaning. Now going through this, we understand what Prophet Muhammad wanted us to do. Know yourself. Know what is happening within you. And this only will help you. We never knew how to observe. He says, observe your breath and you will observe Allah. You will observe the God Almighty. You observe your body, you will observe the God Almighty. He says, how to observe the breath? There's no shape, no form, no color. How to observe the breath? And observe the body. Every day when I take bath, I observe my body. I have not seen Allah. What is this? And now passing through all this, what is Allah? What is God? Truth is God. Love is God. Purity is God. Compassion is God. And now you are coming in tune with that truth, with the reality. You are realizing the truth. You have got love, compassion, goodwill, these qualities in you. So you are coming a union with the God Almighty. If you say God Almighty, or you say ultimate truth, whatever name you give, that has to be experienced.
At both venues, Goenkaji invited questions from his audience.
How do I know the difference between meditating to live life and living life to meditate? Good question. You have to live, certainly, you have to live a life. But what kind of life? You live a life full of misery all the time. You got hatred, you got aversion, you got animosity. You're a miserable person. What sort of life you're living? So if you add meditation with that and you find that you're coming out of misery, the wonderful. You have to live a life, but with meditation you will find you have started living a wonderful life, very good life, peaceful life, harmonious life. Are you ever unhappy? Yes. When I become unhappy, very soon I change it into happiness. I become happy immediately, even if unhappiness comes. Very rare it comes. When it comes, so what? I am still not a Buddha. So, when the unhappiness comes, I have got this technique. An impurity has come, I got my soap, my detergent, I wash it away. It's all right. What are the dangers, if any, if the person suffers from a condition where they are not always in control of the mind, that is severe depression? This wonderful technique, according to this super scientist of the world, when he realized the truth inside, he found out that nothing arises in the mind without a sensation on the body. This was a discovery of this scientist, great scientist. And then with that discovery, he started making use of it for one's own liberation. Now when there is a depression, what depression? The mind is depressed.
a feeling of depression has come in the mind. And then another reality which is discovered, anything that arises in the mind, it arises with a sensation on the body. So when there is depression, there is bound to be a sensation related to the depression in the body also. A good meditator, what he does, what she does, a depression has come. Accept the fact, there is depression in my mind now. Depression due to this, due to that, nothing doing. Depression as depression. And let me say what sensation I have. At that moment, whatever sensation you have on the body is strongly related to this mental defilement of depression. You keep on observing. Depression, sensation, depression, sensation. And sensations, I have experienced so many times, they are not permanent. They arise to go away. They arise to pass away. Let me see how long it lasts. Let me see how long it lasts. And you will see how long the depression will last. Let me see. Then the same depression which was overpowering you, now your head is above the water. You are observing. You are observing. The depression becomes weaker and weaker and you are out of it. Not one, not two, hundreds of cases of depression come to Vipassana. And very easily. My third course or the fourth course in India, a very rich person, a multimillionaire, a big industrialist, somehow or the other he was in big depression. Mere money does not can bring one out of depression. Even though so much of money is there, but there are many reasons to become depressed. He was so depressed. He tried to commit suicide 2 times, but he was saved somehow. And he came to the course. The same thing. Observing sensation, after 10 days, not a trace of depression was left. And that word started spreading all around. Well, this technique is so wonderful. It helps people to come out of their misery of depression. And so many people started coming. It is true. There is no magic, no miracle. This is a pure science, mind and matter, interrelated. So if there is anything wrong in the mind, there is bound to be a sensation on the body. People keep coming to me, those who say that, I want to come out of addiction. Look, I am very much addicted to alcohol or drug or this or that. Please help, how to come out? I explain him. You are not addicted to alcohol. This is wrong. You are addicted to the sensation that you get by taking alcohol. When you take alcohol, there is a kind of sensation, you like it. And at the depth of your mind, you start craving for that sensation. And the depth of the mind, because you crave for that sensation, you take another peg of alcohol. You take another peg of alcohol. It looks at the apparent level that you are addicted to alcohol. At the real level, you are addicted to the sensations. And when they start observing the sensation, they are out of it. How people easily come out of all kinds of addictions. Addiction not only with the drugs or this. You are addicted even to the anger. You are addicted to passion. You are addicted to fear. You are addicted to ego. All that has to go. And all of that goes away by observing the sensations equanimously, because all of those are related to sensations.
How does the wisdom arising from Vipassana differ from indifference? No. Vipassana does not teach it indifference. By indifference, I don't know, my knowledge of language might be less, but what I learned, indifference means I don't care. If somebody dies, I don't care. I am a Vipassana meditator. I don't care if my mother dies or father dies or my child dies. Oh, I am indifferent. Oh, no. You don't react by becoming miserable. Somebody is sick in your family. You do every effort. Every effort. This is your duty to save this person. You do your every effort. But if you are not successful, then try some other way. Don't start crying. Try some other way. Try some other way. Still, if you are not successful and the person dies, you start giving metta. May you be happy wherever you are. May you be peaceful. That's all. Crying for thing goes away. The habit of crying goes away. But not indifference. You are very well concerned with all your near and dear ones and also for others. We understand there are prison courses in India. Good. But how about the ruling authority, especially army, police, who oppress the people? Everyone needs Vipassana. Before we give course in the jail, our condition is that the jail superintendent must come and take a course. The warden must come and take a course. The high officials there must come and take the course. Unless they have taken the course, it won't be successful, because they won't know what is being taught. And they won't help the technique to be continued in the course. And because they are also very miserable, when these officers come to the courts, they find a big change in them. Previously, we were dealing with these prisoners with so much harsh words and violent action. Now I don't feel like doing this. Love, compassion, and the result is much better result. Similarly, the police people, now they are being given this Vipassana meditation in the police academy. 600 or 700 at a time. They sit, they understand, and they keep on telling us, a big change has come in my life. A big change has come in my life. From army people up to the stage of lieutenant generals have come to the course, and they find a big change. So everybody needs it. Ruler or ruled makes no difference. Everyone is unhappy, and this is a remedy for all. More and more people should try this for their own good, for their own benefit. We all want there must be a peace in the human society. The world peace is needed, certainly. There is so much of agony going on everywhere. But merely passing resolutions that yes, there must be peace in the all round, having good wishes for that, it's good to have that. It will have some impact. But actually something has to be done for each individual, of every society, of every tradition, how to experience peace within, how to take out the agitation from the mind within and live a good life, a peaceful life, a harmonious life. I'm glad that so many of you came to this evening because you want to understand whether there is any technique which can help. And yes, there is a technique which has helped, which is helping. May all of you find time. You have to spare 10 days of your life. May all of you find time to give a trial to this technique. May all of you enjoy real peace, real harmony, real happiness, real happiness.
Around 2,000 people attended these London events, which were a precursor to a 3-week tour of the United States, taking in Dallas, Chicago, California, and Massachusetts, and culminating in New York, where Goenkaji gave the message of Dhamma to the Millennium World Peace Summit at the United Nations.
Keep on glowing in Dhamma. You all are torch bearers of Dhamma in the West. People, they look at you, a Vipassana meditator, how he or she is, what sort of life he or she is living, how they are behaving. You have to give a good example to the people, not to inflate your ego, but to see that more and more people get attracted to this wonderful path of liberation. So whatever you are doing, you are not doing only for your own good and benefit, but for the good of, and benefit of so many others. May all of you keep on progressing in Dhamma. May all of you keep on enjoying the best fruits of Dhamma. May all of you get liberated from the misery. May you all be happy, be peaceful, be liberated.
Sabika Mangale, Sabika Mangale, Jana Jana Mangale, Jana Jana Mangale, Jana Jana Sukhiya, Jana Jana Sukhiya, Tera